Well, today we're going to be speaking with Ivan Estevez of the Help Get the F Out campaign. It's a PSA that they're going to be starting in Dallas and hopefully going nationwide with this campaign to educate the public about getting fluoride out of the water. They'll be starting in Dallas there because the people in Dallas have the opportunity to vote to take the fluoride out of their water. That's coming up in January. Now, Estevez, along with Dr. Connett, helped envision and produce this campaign. It features actor Ed Begley Jr. in this first PSA. They give you all sorts of perks for helping support this Indiegogo campaign, and they hope to air this PSA during primetime network TV shows to really educate the public and force awareness, force their support for getting this toxic substance out of the water supply. It doesn't even make any sense why it's there in the first place. Ivan, welcome to the show. So please tell us a little bit about the Indiegogo campaign, Help Get the F Out.
Well, thanks for having me on the show here. It's great to be here. Yes, the Help Get the F Out campaign is basically a campaign that we are doing to raise money to be able to buy primetime airtime on ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and air a public service announcement that we created with Ed Begley Jr. It's about fluoride, and it basically hits some bullet points on what fluoride actually does to people and gives them a plan of action to get together with their local fluoride awareness group in their city to help them work together with the city council and get the fluoride out of the water. So the campaign is basically an Indiegogo campaign to raise the money to actually buy the airtime to air the PSA on television to create mass awareness about what fluoride is doing to people. So that's what the campaign is to do. And we want to do it first in Dallas because Dallas is right on the fence in terms of having a victory and having a lot of people sign petitions and come down to city council right before the vote in mid-January could have a major impact on pushing Dallas towards not renewing that contract. So if we can get a victory in Dallas, that'll create a tidal wave or a domino effect, if you will, for other cities, as many cities are in the fight now to get fluoride out of the water. So basically, after the Dallas campaign, the idea is to run the campaign in other cities, Austin, Houston, San Francisco, L.A., New York, Atlanta, Raleigh-Durham, all the big cities that have a big push to get fluoride out of the water so we can boost the awareness in those cities and get a higher turnout for the people that actually show up with the city council members and so forth to help get it out of the city level, because that's where it takes place.
Right, exactly. It is all about raising awareness and getting people to actually show up to these city council meetings. Hijacking the airwaves is a big part of that. I know here when we went to the Austin City Council, when they were trying to make their decision to renew their contract to put fluoride in the water, a lot of people showed up. We did have one city council member that actually feigned a little bit of interest. The mayor actually flipped us off secretively. You know, he thought he was kind of sly with his little giving us the finger. But, you know, I think it was just that there wasn't a lot of awareness until all of these people just showed up. There were actually two guys out there doing a fluoride hunger strike. They did that for about 3 weeks to try and raise awareness for this fluoride. But let's go ahead and take a look at the PSA.
Hi, I'm Ed Begley Jr. You know, back in the 50s, doctors on television told us cigarettes were cool, fun, and harmless. They also told us adding fluoride to our water is good for our teeth. But did you know 41% of American children now have dental fluorosis? You want your children's teeth to look like this? You think that's bad? How about your child's brain? Well, scientists at Harvard University published that fluoride prevents proper brain development and lowers IQ.
So if people have to wear hazmat suits to handle the stuff because it's so corrosive it eats through concrete, and you're warned to call poison control if you swallow your toothpaste, then why is it still added to the water we drink, cook, and shower with?
The good news is countries like Israel and cities like Portland, Wichita, and Davis, California have rejected fluoridation, and we can too. So here's what you want to do. First, get all the facts at fluoridealert.org. Second, go to fluorideprotection.org for everything you need to protect your family from fluoride. Then, work with your city's fluoride awareness group to get this poison out of your community's water.
So obviously that's a very powerful PSA. So what showtime are people going to be seeing this, like during Dr. Oz, or what's the audience that's going to be viewing this really powerful PSA?
Yeah, ideally, you know, we'd like to air it on, like you said, on shows like Dr. Oz, Ellen, trying to think of other ones. Basically, I would like to go to Ellen, for example, if we raise, X amount of dollars for this. And I know she's behind the same, she wants to get fluoride out of the water too. So I would like to go to her and say, hey, will you match the funds that we actually raised for this PSA? And, so we can air it more times during your show, because I know you care about your viewers, and, she would love to see her viewers know about this and
Right.
protect themselves from it. So,
Right.
Same with Dr. Oz.
Yeah, it's kind of raising awareness that you can get that support of the public to kind of take the stigma away from fluoride, because everyone, oh, well, it's in our toothpaste. The dentists have been telling us for 50 years it's safe. So it's kind of just getting away from that misinformation. How did you get in? How did you get in touch with Ed Begley Jr., the actor there in the PSA?
Actually, Paul Conant and I and Michael Conant, his son, I was trying to produce a multi-part series about fluoride. I was wanting to do about 20 different segments, 5 minutes apiece, and put them on public television. And the funding wasn't there, but I knew I wanted to do something with fluoride and get a message out there. And so we reduced it down to a public service announcement, and we had a couple actors, to kind of choose from. Dr. Conant from the Flouride Action Network had a contact with, and Martin Sheen was one, Ed Asner was another, Ed Begley was another, and I think Bill Mayer was one other. So I chose Ed Begley. I've been a fan of Ed Begley. I know he really cares about the environment. And so I just figured he'd be the one to do this with. And so that's how, it came from a connection with Dr. Paul Conant from the Flouride Action Network and FluorideAlert.org. So fortunately, Ed was very pleased to do it. And we eventually got it done. So here we are.
Yeah, well, you could tell he was pretty passionate about it, not just reading his cue cards like a good actor should. You could tell he was really, there was some passion behind his words there. You also direct people to some other great resources there in the commercial, fluorideprotection.org, where you kind of let people know about some other things that they can use to help detoxify their body from fluoride. Obviously, our fluoride shield is featured right there, using it as one of the products to kind of educate the public on just different things that they can eat, natural things, and things that their body might not be, might be deficient on, to help them, counteract the effects of fluoride.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the things that you're talking about there?
Well, it was the last minute. I had written a script for this PSA, and I was like, what, we got to give something to the people to be able to protect themselves in the meantime, if the government still delays on getting this stuff out of the water. And if they do delay, but we've notified the people on what they can use naturally to actually detoxify their bodies from fluoride and protect it from ongoing exposure, then we've kind of fixed the problem in a way, or at least halfway. And my take on that was, if we get 10 million people who find out about fluoride and start protecting themselves from it, and they get it out of their body, well, we know that means their pineal glands will start functioning.
Right.
And if that's our connection to the spiritual realm and spiritual, who we really are and our true essence, then we need to be connected to that. So we know that fluoride calcifies that gland and prevents it from working. And I liken that to a rabbit ears on the television. I mean, we used to have rabbit ears on televisions, and when the rabbit ears were on the television, we got the signal. We could see the picture and watch the movie on television. But if the rabbit ears fell off the television, the signal didn't come in, and all we got was fuzz on the television, and we couldn't see the signal. Well, it's the same thing with our pineal gland. That's the master gland in our brain that gives us, as spiritual beings, the ability to connect with that realm and still be in the physical realm and in the human body. So again, if it's calcified and it's not working, then we're not nearly what our potential is. We're just mere shadows of it, really. So my philosophy is, if we can teach people how to protect themselves from fluoride, whether the government takes it out of the water or not, at least people can be protected and basically have their DNA protected, have their bodies protected. And that just means less cancer, less degenerative diseases, less ADHD, less everything that we're seeing in our society that's been coming on in our society for the last 70 years, which is basically when this stuff started getting in the water. So if we just watch the trail, we can figure out why there's so much disease. And fluoride is the most corrosive element of all the elements on the periodic table of elements. So if you get near it, you're going to corrode. So that's what it does to the human body. So we can just teach people that,
right.
We'd have a different society.
Absolutely, very powerful there with the hazmat suit, and really incredible metaphor there with the rabbit ears on the television, because that's exactly it. It's kind of scrambling the signal, and we've got to
Exactly.
decalcify our pineal gland to be able to get there with that our true essence, our true human evolution, rather than being
Absolutely.
enslaved like we have been. Well, the
Absolutely.
campaign launched November 4th. It's going to run for 60 days. It can be extended to about I apologize. The campaign launched November 4th. It's going to run for 40 days, but it can get an extension to 60. What do you want to tell the people now to get them involved? Obviously, when you run these campaigns, there's a little bit of a kickback for people who might help you donate to the project. But what do you really want to, let our audience know?
Well, we've got a bunch of, we call them perks on the Indiegogo campaign. Those are basically giveaways or incentives or gifts in exchange for your cooperation and your collaboration in helping us do this campaign. So, and they're things that really benefit you. It's not like we're sending you a picture of something that really doesn't make any difference. These are things that will make a difference in your life. These are all natural fluoride-free toothpastes. There are detoxification protocols and products from Dr. Edward Group from the Global Healing Center that he's donated to the campaign that will completely clean people out. We've got superfoods on there that, basically are loaded with vitamins and nutrients that our normal food does not have. And those are not vitamins and nutrients and minerals that our body needs to actually protect us from fluoride exposure and exposure to other chemicals and metals. So all the giveaways that we're doing on the campaign in exchange for people's sponsorship are things that are only going to benefit them and help their health. And if they want to give away fluoride toothpaste to their friends, we've got what we call ambassador packs, which are a pack of like 5 different flavors of fluoride-free toothpaste that they can give away to their friends and just get the word out there. And if they're going to buy toothpaste anyway, they might as well send their money towards the campaign and get free toothpaste, all natural toothpaste, that is, the best that there is, and just, make good use of their money and, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will. So try to make it a benefit for everybody involved as much as we can here. So that's the idea of the perks on the campaign. We're offering Fluoride Shield too, as well. It's basically the first time. It's the first line of defense. It's got everything you need to detoxify your body in there. So, for a donation, we'll send you a bottle of Fluoride Shield and some fluoride-free toothpaste, and you're on your way. So,
Yeah, it is really incredible. So either way, you're getting something out of it. And at the very least, you're helping to raise awareness, educate the public about the dangers of fluoride. And we might get that big win of actually getting fluoride out of our water. Also pretty interesting to note that I'm not sure if it's the particular fluoride-free toothpaste that you were using or giving away with this Indiegogo campaign, but it's kind of a coalition of these groups. There was another fluoride-free toothpaste maker that was donated more than $1 million to try and get labeling for GMOs. So there really is just this coalition of people who really care. People are really starting to band together and put their money for these good causes to fight the globalists, fight these people who would rather not educate themselves on the dangers of fluoride and just say, well, we've always been putting fluoride in the water. What's the big deal? What's the problem? Maybe Ed Begley Jr. in a hazmat suit will be enough to let people know that this is really dangerous.
Absolutely. Some people say, well, why do I want to donate toward a campaign for Dallas or, some other city, and I don't live there? Well, the truth is we're all connected, and what you do for your fellow man is only going to come back to you. And if you help get the fluoride out of the water in one city, especially Dallas, that's just going to create a domino effect to help get it out of your city's water. So, if you can contribute to this campaign, it's only going to come back to you in the long run. So please do what you can to contribute, and we'll make sure we get all the right perks out there to you to make it all worthwhile and help you.
Absolutely. Well, Ivan Estevez of the Help Get the F Out campaign to end water fluoridation, thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight. And we will definitely do everything we can here at InfoWars to support this campaign and educate the public.
Well, thank you so much for doing what you guys can to get this message out there and create a victory for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, there you go. You can go to the Indiegogo campaign, show your support, help them raise funds so that they can air this PSA during primetime television shows. Obviously, they want to start with Dallas, But that will just be the one major city. From there, it can fan out, become a national, if not global movement to help get the fluoride out of the water, help get the F out.